Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, we explore another tumultuous chapter in the captivating love story between Diep and CEO James. A love story that confronts betrayal, loss, and an enemy who refuses to bury the past. A life saved from flood. In the previous episode, Diep and James narrowly escaped death when a fierce flood came mercilessly. Amidst the raging waters that swept everything into chaos, James did not hesitate. He dove headfirst into the water, risking his life for the woman who was more important to him than his own heartbeat. It was a moment between life and death, when pure love pulled them both to safety. A miracle happened. They both survived. They both recovered. A few days later, Diep was discharged from the hospital, still weak, but wrapped in the warmth of recovery. Abroad, James' mother, who had brought him to safety, broke down in tears over a video call. "As long as you two come back safely, everything else can be rebuilt from scratch," she whispered, her voice trembling. But peace, as always, remains fragile. Knowing that John's threat, the ghost of the past, still loomed, James made a painful choice: send Diep to live with a trusted uncle in the countryside, where it was safest under the trees and away from the prying eyes of the city. "I can't be with you every minute," he told her that night, "but I won't let you face anything alone. Just call, and I'll be there." Tears welled up in Diep's eyes. She said nothing, but she knew it wasn't over. And she was right. John was back, this time, not alone. Backed by a secret organization with deep ties and dark motives, his goal was clear: destroy James. Not just the man, but everything he stood for: the company, the honor, the family, Diep. As danger looms, James finds an unusual refuge for Yi, the home of an elderly couple, the biological parents of a former crime lord. Years ago, James had cleared their names in a complicated legal battle. Since then, a deep, unspoken bond has blossomed between them. The old man looked at Yi during their first meal and said, "Whoever belongs to James, belongs to this house." "If anyone dares to touch you, they will have to step over my dead body first." Yi did not expect kindness. Not in a world as fractured as this. But here, it came freely. Meanwhile, back in town, James was struggling with the chaos of his business. John began to deliberately spread rumors, allegations of bankruptcy, late payments, investors disappearing. It was a psychological war. But amid the storm, James found a bit of calm. Late one afternoon, he returned to the small house where he and Diep had shared their peaceful moments. The chickens were hungry. The shutters creaked. Silence filled every corner. But James was undaunted. He took off his coat, rolled up his sleeves, and started cleaning. Every sweep of the broom, every picture frame he wiped, every rusty hinge he oiled, it wasn't just care. It was love, preservation, hope. Then he called a trusted employee. Come to this house twice a week. Feed the animals, clean up. If there are any strangers, report them to me. That home, no matter how humble, must always be ready for her return. But the flood destroyed more than memories. It devastated James's timber supply chain, a key artery in his vast manufacturing empire. Forests were lost, shipping routes collapsed, and just as he was struggling to find imports, John's lies began to spread throughout the industry. Panic set in, banks wavered, suppliers withdrew, competitors circled like vultures. James met with Hung, his longtime ally and major shareholder. Hung warned, if we don't hold out for 3 more weeks, everything could collapse. This is no longer about money, James replied. It's about trust, about spirit. If they break that, we're done for. Away from the conference room, in a mansion tucked away outside the city, John sat with Mr. Tran, a man whose family had long blamed James's blood for their downfall. They shook hands in hatred. John smirked. I don't want his company. I want his soul. Diep is his weakness, and I will make her mine. Meanwhile, Diep found a new life in the countryside. Surrounded by birdsong and morning dew, she began to recover, not just physically but mentally. One morning, she returned to her watermelon garden. The vines were thick, the fruit glistening like emeralds under the foliage. She harvested them carefully. She stored them in an old woven basket and walked to the village market. Customers marveled at the sweetness. Homegrown? No chemicals? How rare. Diep just smiled. She didn't need praise. She needed peace. Selling watermelons wasn't about profit. It was about proving something to herself. I'm still alive. I'm still strong. I can still stand on my own. But she didn't know, she wasn't alone. Behind a roadside tea shop, a man in a dark coat sat. Silent, observing, he picked up the phone. Boss, I found her. Dong Fu Market. She's alone. John's voice rang out, cold and triumphant. Good. Don't make a move. Watch her. Learn her every move. I want it step by step. That night, John stood on the balcony overlooking the city. His voice was a venomous whisper. You thought you had won, James. But I found her. I am collecting everything, old debts and new debts. And you will pay for everything. The war has just begun. What will James do now? Move Diep again, or fight John? One thing is clear. This is no longer a battle for wealth or power. It is a battle for the love, the legacy, and the soul of a man determined to lose nothing. The storm has turned. The enemy has stepped into the light, and now James must decide. Will he protect the woman he loves, or will he lose her to a man who has nothing left to lose?